Odin, from Old Norse Oin, the Furious One, is a major god in Germanic mythology, especially in Norse mythology. In many Norse sources he is the Allfather of the gods and the ruler of Asgard. Homologous with the Old English Woden, the Old Saxon Woden and the Old High German Woden, the name is descended from Proto-Germanic Woden is or Woanas. Odin is generally accepted as the modern English form of the name, although, in some cases, older forms may be used or preferred. His name is related to war, meaning fury, excitation, besides mind or poetry. His role, like that of many of the Norse gods, is complex. Odin is a principal member of the Sur, the major group of the Norse pantheon, and is associated with war, battle, victory and death, but also wisdom, shamanism, magic, poetry, prophecy, and the hunt. Odin has many sons, the most famous of whom is the thunder god Thor. In Norse mythology, Thor, from Old Norse Or, is a hammer-wielding god associated with thunder, lightning, storms, oak trees, strength, the protection of mankind, and also hallowing, healing and fertility. The cognate deity in wider Germanic mythology and paganism was known in Old English as Unnr and in Old High German as Donr, runic Onr, stemming from a common Germanic Unrs, meaning thunder. Ultimately stemming from Proto-Indo-European religion, Thor is a prominently mentioned god throughout the recorded history of the Germanic peoples, from the Roman occupation of regions of Germania, to the tribal expansions of the migration period, to his high popularity during the Viking Age, when, in the face of the process of the Christianization of Scandinavia, emblems of his hammer, Mjolnir, were worn in defiance, and Norse pagan personal names containing the name of the god bear witness to his popularity. Into the modern period, Thor continued to be acknowledged in rural folklore throughout Germanic regions. Thor is frequently referred to in place names, the day of the week Thursday, Thor's Day, Old English Thursdag, Thunorsday, German, Donnerstag, Donnersday, bears his name, and names stemming from the pagan period containing his own continue to be used today. In Norse mythology, largely recorded in Iceland from traditional material stemming from Scandinavia, numerous tales and information about Thor are provided. In these sources, Thor bears at least 14 names, is the husband of the golden-haired goddess Sif, is the lover of the Jotun Jon Saxa, and is generally described as fierce-eyed, red-haired and red-bearded. With Sif, Thor fathered the goddess, and possible Valkyrie. With Jon Saxa, he fathered Magni, with the mother whose name is not recorded, he fathered Moa, and he is the stepfather of the god Or. The same sources list Thor as the son of the god Odin and the personified earth, Fjorgyn, and by way of Odin, Thor has numerous brothers. Thor has two servants, Jaffi and Roskva, rides in a cart or chariot pulled by two goats, 10 Grisnir and 10 Gilster, that he eats and resurrects, and is ascribed 3 dwellings, Bilskirnir, Rheimr, and Ruvingr. Thor wields the mountain-crushing hammer, Mjolnir, wears the belt Mejingr and the iron gloves Jongripr, and owns the staff Gryarvor. Thor's exploits, including his relentless slaughter of his foes and fierce battles with the monster serpent Jormungandr, and their foretold mutual deaths during the events of Ragnarok, are recorded throughout sources for Norse mythology. In Norse mythology, Loki, Loptr, or Hverungr is a god or Jotun, or both. Loki is the son of Farbodi and Laufey, and the brother of Helblindi and Byleistr. By the Jotun Angerboa, Loki is the father of Hel, the wolf Fenrir, and the world serpent Jormungandr. By his wife Sigyn, Loki is the father of Narfi and Ornari. By the stallions Vaelfari, Loki is the mother and Mdash, giving birth in the form of a mare and Mdash, to the eight-legged horse Sleipnir. In addition, Loki is referred to as the father of Veli in the Prose Edda. Loki's relation with the gods varies by source. Loki sometimes assists the gods and sometimes causes problems for them. Loki is a shapeshifter, and in separate incidents he appears in the form of a salmon, mare, seal, a fly, and possibly an elderly woman. Loki's positive relations with the gods end with his role in engineering the death of the god Baldr. Loki is eventually bound by the gods with the entrails of one of his sons. In both the Poetic Edda and the Prose Edda, the goddess Sky is responsible for placing a serpent above him while he is bound. The serpent drips venom from above him that Sigyn collects into a bowl. However, she must empty the bowl when it is full, and the venom that drips in the meantime causes Loki to writhe in pain, thereby causing earthquakes. With the onset of Ragnarok, Loki is foretold to slip free from his bonds and to fight against the gods among the forces of the Jotnar, at which time he will encounter the god Heimdall and the two will slay each other. Loki is referred to in the Poetic Edda, compiled in the 13th century from earlier traditional sources, the Prose Edda and Heimskringla, written in the 13th century by Snorri Sturluson, the Norwegian rune poems, in the poetry of skalds, and in Scandinavian folklore. Loki may be depicted on the Snapton stone, the Kirkby Stephen stone, and the Goesforth cross. Loki's origins and role in Norse mythology, which some scholars have described as that of a trickster god, have been much debated by scholars.